Guys, is running for beta males. Brandon made a video on this, and I'll be honest, yeah, I think in some ways running is for beta males or beta females, whatever way you want to put it. Okay, so whatever gender you are. Um, Now it's not the most beta thing to do. Okay, I think the most beta people out there are people who just um sit around all day. They don't really do anything. Maybe they watch TV. They waste their time with passive entertainment. They just don't do much, really, to put it simply. They're the overweight guys at the pubs who are maybe unemployed on social welfare, who are overweight. Um, Maybe they worked for a few years and quit and decided to get depressed or something. Um, so those guys, yeah, they're the biggest betas. So being a distance runner, if you can go from being that kind of person to being a distance runner, that's a good place to start. Okay, so yeah, these guys are not the most beta people out there, but in terms of sport, they're definitely more beta than most sports. And you just look at some of these guys. I myself, I think I was like a bit of a beta when I started. Didn't make it I was quite tall, skinny. Wasn't very good at team sports. Didn't have a lot of confidence. Had a bit of a fear of failure back then. Didn't want to make mistakes. Sometimes I didn't want to get the ball and stuff like that. So yeah, obviously I was a little bit on the beta side back then. But then again, you look at other people. Like let's say John Lennon. John Lennon, world mountain running champion, high level mountain running champion. He was actually sponsored in the 80s. He actually got sponsored. He could have been a full-time professional athlete if he wanted to, but he decided not to. He decided to just train part-time and work on like a farm instead. Or I think he worked at a factory as well for a while, and just train his free time. He used to run like 140 miles a week, so yeah, he was committed. And yeah, so this guy, he started running when he was 16, and he lived in Kerry, quite an isolated area. Not a lot of people around where he lived. His closest neighbors lived a mile away, but he'd be out running the roads, and whenever he'd notice there'd be a car coming, he'd start walking because he didn't want to draw too much attention to himself. Then again, I think running as a sport probably wasn't as popular back in the 70s, so he probably would stand out a bit more. But I'm like, Jesus, that's a bit weird. Man, if you grew up in Dublin or some type of town city, you would never have gotten into running in the first place. So, also, he was doing some sports day and he didn't have a number for his race, so he was disqualified. That's annoying, but what did he do? He started crying. Okay, he started crying. So yeah, this guy, he definitely a bit of a beta based on that, if you know what I mean. Very kind of skinny type of guy. So yeah, some of these guys are more like emotional. They're more you know feminine, if you know what I mean. So then again, no hate towards these type of people, but I prefer not to be like that myself, if you know what I mean. So fair play to John Lennon. As a runner, you achieved far more than I've achieved as a runner. So I'm not trying to bring you down. I'm just trying to point out some facts. And even like guys like Eamon Coughlin admitted in his book that he was quite sensitive, sensitive, and so that's just the way it is. Guys are like sensitive. That's why in running there's not much crack to be had. When you're training with people, like I've been told that I've been a bully at my training sessions by my club captain, because that's the thing. I want to have a laugh, slag people, have a bit of banter, and a lot of them they just can't handle it. They get offended. When my club captain, sometimes he slags me back and I'm like, oh, I actually like it when he slags me back. I like to have that little bit of crack, that banter, because I'm not as sensitive as the other guys in my club. Do you know what I mean?